So in 2009, a little bit of background is that AES Tiete was really not a best performer. They were really struggling. And the decision was to take the asset management approach to solving the problems. So how did that work for you, Italo?
Yeah, thank you, Cliff. First of all, I'm sorry for my English. It's not the best one in the world, but I'll try to do my best. I can show you what we did in the overview with a video that I brought, and I can show from the beginning to what we have today.
I'm sure that will be of lots of use to us. Thank you.
Thank you,
Cliff.
Cliff.
The stage is yours.
Okay, thank you.
AES Tiete is one of the largest private energy generation companies in Brazil and is a source of clean, sustainable electrical power. A company committed to innovation and responsible business management. In 2009, AES Tiete reported the worst operational performance in its history, which was characterized by lack of information and poor reliability, insufficient risk analysis processes, and an inadequate organizational structure. That year, the company suffered 2 fatalities and reached a level of 1.24% in equivalent forced outage factor, higher than the market average of 0.40%. In light of such difficult times, AES Tiete decided to turn things around by strategically investing and deploying an asset management system, a set of practices and activities to manage in a coordinated and sustainable manner the company's assets' performance, risks, and expenses throughout their life cycles. The expectation was to improve availability of the plants as well, benefiting all customers. The first step to ensure the asset management system implementation was successful was to develop an asset management policy aligned with the company's vision, mission, and sustainable strategy. It was a necessary, significant change in the internal culture, training, and particularly maintaining an open dialogue involving all levels of the company and suppliers, changed the company's mindset from corrective to proactive. State-of-the-art technologies were used at a level never seen before in the company and in Brazil, with several information systems to support the technical analysis and decision-making. AES Tiete also allocated resources in research and development in partnership with universities from all over Brazil. For the first time, a software which monitors the conditions of the dams and predicts the areas affected in the event of an overtopping was developed in order to reduce material losses and avoid fatalities. Another example is the use of an underwater robot developed by the Electric Engineering Department of the São Paulo State University. It is equipped with high-definition video cameras and sensors operated by remote control, resulting in the reduction of human risk, costs, and maintenance time for the plant turbines and main equipment. Other developed technologies allow control over an asset life cycle cost and the best cost management throughout the life cycle, analysis of human and equipment reliability, prioritization of risk-based project portfolio. Additionally, a diagnostic center was created, which provides data in real time for engineering teams. AES Tiete was the first company in Brazil to invest in unmanned aerial vehicles to evaluate the reservoir conditions through digital images. The Operations Center is the first one in Brazil to use remotely controlled locks and has become a reference for this country's regulatory agency. An optimization system was also created in order to analyze the best dispatch profile for the plants, increasing the energy production 13% above the physical guarantee. Thanks to Assets Management System, AES Tiete reducing its EFOF by over 75%. In 2013 alone, the project reported a cost avoided of about $3.2 million, approximately 18% of the annual OPEX. Sharing the lessons learned at AES Tiete has acted as a catalyst of asset management in Brazil and throughout AES. It has become a reference and received awards for its operational excellence and commitment to safety, health, and environment. This is the energy that generates transformation. AES Tiete, an AES Brazil company.
Okay. Let's show a little bit what we did since 2009 to 2000. Well, here we have the information 2013. 2014, we achieved 0.24% EFOF, equivalent fossil fuel factor. And this year, until now, we are in around 0.15. In the end of the presentation, I have the information for availability. We increased availability from 80-something, 83 to 94, 95%. It's a good number for hydro plants. Just to know, who don't know AES, AES is an American-based company seated in Arlington, Virginia, where it's a multinational company. We have in all of the world, in different Asia, Africa, South America, here in US and Europe. In Brazil, we are the third biggest private generation company, and we are the biggest distribution company responsible for São Paulo City electricity distribution company. More than 10 million clients to take care. It's a big asset. And we have another distribution company in the south of Brazil. And my responsibilities for generation side, AES have two companies in Brazil, one for generation, another one for distribution. There is a CEO for distribution. And now, like Cliff said, I'm responsible for generation, where we have totally 9 hydro plants, 3 small hydro plants, and 1 combined cycle plant. Last week, we acquired, in a negotiation of around $3 billion, a wind company in the northeast of Brazil that generate 1 gigawatt, 1.5 gigawatt in wind. The installed capacity is around 3.2 plus 1 gigawatt. We achieved 4 point something gigawatt in generation. We are responsible for 6 locks in the Tiete Paraná waterway. It's a responsibility this is the most important hydroway and a waterway in Brazil. It's transport around $10 billion in soil, sugarcane, and all of this type of product, paper, from the middle of Brazil to the port of São Paulo. In 2012, we got the PAS 55 certification, and 2014 we got the ISO 55001 certification. And this week, exactly today, we are passing the recertification, because of 1 year after you have to present your recertification process, and we are passing right now. I'm monitoring from my cell phone what's going on with the auditors and our team. And adding to that, we are promoting in Brazil a new technology. We are installing battery storage, where is one of the most advanced technology to support and modernize the grid in Brazil, in US, and in Europe. AES Corporation is the biggest energy storage based on batteries in the world, called Advanced Technology. So this is our assets in Brazil. We have all these hydro plants and 1 combined cycle. This combined cycle is in the border of Argentina. It generates 640 megawatt with gas from Argentina and Bolivia. You can see the hydroway in the top in the right, Barra Bonita and others. We have in the total 6 hydroways to take care. If one hydroway that stop it, the entire transportation stop with this problem. So we have to maintain at least by regulatory 96% availability for that hydroway. So just to see, it's a 30 years old plant's average. AES acquired that company back to 2001 from the state-owned government company. And this, you can see, is 60s, 70s years plant when we acquired that. So in the most of case, we achieve after 30 years for hydro plants, we achieve the time to do the overhaul maintenance. So that was a big challenge for us. It's a lot of CapEx investment during the last maybe 6 years, 7 years to turn around all these numbers and indicators. So this is the Advancium. This looks like a data center, but in fact it's batteries. The situation today is that the intermittent generation from wind farms and solar is causing variation in frequency. So the solution in some cases is to put batteries to stabilize this frequency. So we already installed 300 megawatt in California, and now with PJM system, something around 100 megawatt. In Brazil, we are operating 200 megawatt, that kind of energy storage. So let me talk about the ISO 5000, and that's why I'm here. Like you saw in the video, in 2009 we have all this problem, 2 fatalities, and we decide we're looking for a solution for that. Everyone is very demotivated because of this situation. We was one of the worst performers in Brazilian sector, electricity sector, and we come to AES Tiete and say what we have to do, and looking for the entire experience outside Brazil, and he said, why not we try to implement some asset management system? And we did. This is the situation in that time. Long-term PPA ending put the company in the free market. Before 2014, we had a PPA, a long-term contract with a local distribution company for 15 years. So in 2015, the contract's ending, and the solution is we go to the market, free market. The free market is like this. It's a very risky environmental to work. If in Brazil, if you have a lot of rain, the price drop maybe 70%, 80% sometimes. And if you have a hydrologic problem, the price could go 140%, for example. Like you saw in the video, AFOF, EAF problems, EAF, equivalent availability factor, increased costs due to all these outages, more restriction for regulator, environmental compliance, reliability requirement, and safety. I don't know if you know, guys, I believe that in the end of last year, we have a big event in Brazil where a dam from a Samarco company is a Vale mining company, and BHP Billington is a joint venture unit. The dams broke and killed 17 people and devastate completely our area and the entire river. called Doce River. And this is the most biggest environmental disaster in Brazil. It happened in November last year, and we still have a problem. So all the regulator, all the people looking for dams as a criminal. So you have to take care about this asset, you know. And they are pushing us a lot to take care in the good way this type of asset. Because until now, we see assets like machine, turbines, paper mills, but never saw a dam as an asset, or even a reservoir as an asset. Every time when I talk with my people, I say, reservoir is the most important asset for a hydro plant. Definitely. So instead of having mechanical technicians, electrical technician, you have a biologist, you have I don't know in English, but florestal engineer, all this different type of skills to take care of one of the most important assets in the hydro plant, the reservoir, you know. So that's why we implement all these tools using drones. In fact, we have, when we did this video, we had one drone, but today we have 4 drones to take care about all the reservoir. The drone is much bigger than you saw in the video. The drone that we are using now, they fly around 3 hours alone, and then back with information to see invasion in the area, because we are responsible for the border of the reservoir. They see invasion, erosion in the border, the reforestation. We are responsible for the reforestation in the border, so they see the reforestation growing up or not, you know. All these problems that you have to put technology to get information and take a decision. Not only machine, but other assets also. Well, this is the requirement for the asset management proposal. This is, I think that in the presentation from Mark, it's very similar. So performance, cost, and risk, the balance between them, and inside the life cycle, you know. Identification, for me, it's 3. When you acquire, when you maintain an operation, and when you dismantling or decommissioning. These 3 phases, main phases, is the most important. You have to balance all your efforts between these 3 phases. And go beyond the documentation ISO. Implement ISO not only the paper, like we did with ISO 9000. That was a completely, in my view, disaster, you know. If you go if you go in a small business, you can have ISO 9000, but you don't know how they got this ISO 9000. This was a concern when I participate in the ISO 55000 group, led by John Hardwick from AEM Council in Australia. How we guarantee that ISO 55000 will be very good implemented and using the learning curve from the ISO 9000. This is one thing that you guys have to be concerned, how implement ISO and how you push the auditors and the assessors to get the best for your company. Establish strategy goals with asset management documents. Aim for improve. Ensure that every document have a proposal. Stay focused on what is really necessary. Monitor performance and register benefit. This is the main mindset of ISO 55000, and we try to guarantee that all these steps will be done during your implementation. This is the requirement. organizational context, leadership, planning, support, operation, performance evaluation, and improvement. I take this, I take in these requirements and bring to the reality of AES Tiete. The context and scope, this is a very important thing. What is the context of your company? What is the context of your organization? You know, you are more regulated business or not, you know. For AES in Brazil, or for electricity companies, power plant companies or whatever, the regulation is so hard against us for everything. Since the electricity agency in Brazil, for example, regulatory agency, to environmental regulatory agency. All these agencies looking for us as evil and said, you have to be in compliance with everything. From emission in the stack for the combined cycle through the water plant that is in our reservoir. They want to see as small as water plant in the top of the reservoir and say, like, you have a lot of water plant, you have to take out this. Because it's not, you can affect the environment. Say, but it's not my fault. They say, no, it's your fault. Okay? You put the plant there, you know? That's okay. And this is cost, you know? It's like we said in Brazil, it is kind of try to dry ice, you know, all the time, taking all these water plants and whatever. So what the context your business is inside? What the expectation of needs of stakeholders? Stakeholders, you know, is one of the important. Stakeholder is the regulatory agency. Stakeholder is the community around your company. Stakeholder is the bankers, you know. Infrastructure is one of the most business. Is a business that you really need banks, right? Because of the loan, because of the borrowing money to build new plants and all the stuff. One thing that's very important, when you have a company like a power plant company, the context is you have to take in consideration asset management from the strategy, organizational strategy level, because you want to grow like we did. We bought this wind company, but I don't know exactly how the situation of their assets. You have to take in consideration. So it's nothing related to maintenance. It's related to organizational strategy. Means I want to buy a new company. I want to do a M&A, merger and acquisition, but I need to understand the financial risks. I need to understand the operational risks and how they operate in their plants. If I want a greenfield project, I want to follow the organizational strategy for that new plant. Could be brown or greenfield. So that's I'm talking about. Organizational strategy is business development, is commercial strategy, financial strategy, and asset management strategy. I like the example, the CEO, before I become the CEO, come to me and said, Italo, we want in 5 years to increase our EBITDA in 6%. I don't know, it's a good number, but 6%, okay? Okay. Is the entire responsibility for this 6% the commercial strategy? No. For the business development strategy? No, as well. Oh, it's a combination of all these strategies and more. So I can't go back to my team and say, hey guys, you are the asset management managers. How we can contribute in this 5% increase EBITDA in the next 5 years. Based on what? Performance, cost, and risk. So they said, okay, Italo, we can decrease the CapEx, the investment CapEx, or decrease the OpEx, or increase the asset utilization, or whatever. So give me a number, and I will go to my CEO and said, in 5%, I can give you 1, or 1.5, or 2%. The rest will be commercial strategy, business development strategy, and financial strategy. And you have to cross this risk around all these areas. Because sometimes I said, I can decrease my CapEx. But if I'm decreasing my CapEx, the financial guys, I increase my risk in next month, and the financial guys will give more dividend to the shareholder. It's good for the shareholder, but long term, it is good or not? So the financial risk have to be balanced with asset management risks. This is a tough fighting. Go to the financial guy and said, hey, look, don't distribute more dividend to our shareholder because I need this money to do a CapEx program. And he said, no. We are in the middle of crisis in Europe, or we are in the middle of crisis in US, and the parent company needs X million dollar or X billion dollar. So you have to go, said, show me, if I'm not doing the CapEx program, I will show you that we have a failure in the future that can cause a lot of damage for the entire company, not just for the asset. Because the regulator come to me and give me a penalty or whatever. That's how we solve that problem, because financial guys is so tough, you know. We had to show them what is asset management strategy. And they have to participate in that. They had to participate in the asset management strategy campaign, like we said in AES. The commercial guy is the same. The business development guy is the same. So we put everyone together and say, this is the asset management strategy that we put in place, and we need support from you to balance performance, cost, and risks. I'm sorry about this is in Portuguese, but I didn't get in English. But like I said, in the top of the triangle, the organizational strategy, and then manage your portfolio, asset portfolio, means when we talk about if I want combined cycle or hydro or wind farm or solar panels. And then in the bottom of the triangle, you have the life cycle and what you have to do in terms of maintenance, CapEx program, OpEx program, and all this stuff. Stakeholders, normal. When you start a strategy, you need to map your stakeholders and see who is against your project and who is, with you in your project. The scope, you have to define the scope of the strategy, since the clients to the regulator, clients and regulator, plus the entire process that limit your scope in the asset management strategy. And leadership. Leadership is one of the most important things in asset management implementation. Leadership, how you pass the message from the leadership to your guys. It's not going plant by plant and talk with the people. This is important to do. But you need to have some instrument to deploy this message to the technician, to the biologist. It's through policy, strategy, objectives, and plan. That's the sequence that you need to have and to deploy all the strategy. Policy is a rule of the game. For example, in our policy, we deployed this policy in 2012 and now become the entire AES corporation worldwide policy. In that policy, we describe, for example, that no matter during the acquisition phase, you have to have the function of the asset. If it's critical, non-critical, important, or run to fail. If it's critical, don't take the decision to buy anything just only in price. Just seeing price when you acquire some assets or some spare parts. You have to see how important or how critical is their function. This is in the rule. So it's assigned by the president. When the technician come and said, I have a part of my compressor that costs $10,000 and another one from other country costs $1,000. And I show you the reliability calculation, viable, destructive tests, all the stuff for that $10,000, and this give me 99.999% of reliability. And this 1,000 give me a 95% of reliability. So put in the entire reliability of the system and see what's happened. Maybe this costs more money in the life cycle. This is $1,000 asset costs more money in the life cycle than that $10,000 could cause in the life cycle. So this is in the policy. It's assigned by the president. So the technician can use that in the decision-making process. That's why this policy had to pass through the legal and lawyers in our company. That was a problem. It's a completely problem because it took maybe 6 months to get done after we gave to the lawyers. See, every comma, every line, they said, no, this is a problem. There is a problem right here. Say, what's the problem? You can say, no, if somebody come and, 6 months after we release the policy and the people use, one of the critical points is training the people to use the policy is difficult, but it's just training and talking about, and it's a face-to-face sometimes training to see how you apply the policy in your day. This is difficult to do. You have to push people to use that. Strategy. We define this template, we call tempo for the strategy. In the top is financial KPIs, it's normal. Financial KPIs, in the middle, the pile is the strategic drivers, and in the bottom is who support the entire strategy. So in the middle, right here, you have efficiency in the using the resource and execution. So we got that point and bring to the asset management. So that is the tempo is the organizational strategy, and that is the asset management strategy. Manage asset efficiently, additionally in the regulatory remuneration-based PAS 55 and ISO 55001. We got a normal balance scorecard. It's very interesting. In the top, we looking for the manage asset efficiently. That's in the organizational strategy, the corporation strategy. And then we saw 3 main financial objectives inside the asset management strategy. First one is optimize cost, F2. The second one, F3, is maximize result from the, it's a specific situation in the Brazilian electricity market, but in the end of the day is increase the asset utilization, okay? In the FE4 is one of the biggest problem that we have in the Brazilian market is the penalty that the regulator gives to us. It's hard penalty if you are unavailable. They give us, in the same proportion of unavailability, 5 years penalty depend of your performance in each year. So it's, you have to be better each year to recover how you was in 1 year. It's tough. So that's why we push a lot asset management and all these programs. So go to the client view, the client perspective. We define 2 big strategic objectives. One is what the grid operator wants from us, availability, okay? This is one objective. And another one is responsible business, environmental safety and health, and regulation compliance. And in the internal process, you can see in the different colors, we define all these seven points. The first one is operational cost, maintainability, and supportability. How will you be better in terms of maintainability and supportability? Maintainability is how easy to do maintenance in our assets, okay? Supportability is how easy support these assets in terms of time. For example, we have one of our power plant have a bearing and the cooling system inside the bearing. One time, a water leakage happened, you know, and for sure contaminate the oil, and it took 1 week to stop the machine and open the bearing. And it took 50 minutes to tap the hole, you know. So this is amazing downtime. The regulator come to us and said, penalty. So what do we have to do? We have to increase the maintenance. Maintainability is a design characteristics. So you have to increase that. We had to map all this situation in a company to see in the critical equipments what we have to do as a design, redesign the equipment. Supportability, how easy is to support the asset during downtime and during the uptime. So this is another program. Reliability in green, performance monitoring, condition monitoring, root cause analysis, all the stuff. Productibility, so how efficient we produce the power. Mainly in combined cycle. Hydro, a little bit. We don't have any gains against the regulatory payment to increase the efficiency of the plants. Safety, how safety is the assets, and regulatory aspects and sustainability. In the bottom, we define some strategic objectives for people, in pink. This is very interesting because we face a problem in Brazil. A lot of people retired from the beginning of when we bought this company, and they didn't replace people. And in this year, maybe from 2010 to 2015, maybe 40% of our main power got retired. So we had to change the entire, training program and people management program to face that situation. And one thing that we did was, what is the critical assets in our portfolio? And who is the specialist in each one of these assets. We implement a system, I'll show you guys, we implement a system that mapped that. We call that system asset book, like a Facebook. This asset book, when you pop up the equipment, the asset, they show everything about this asset, included who is specialized worldwide in that type of asset. For example, control system, hydraulic system, pneumatic system, all the stuff. We know exactly who is specialist in that asset. I can call US, and 2 days after, a specialist in control system is in Brazil to help us to solve a problem. Easy. So this is the system Orion. We developed with a local company, and this mapped all the asset management strategy plan and all the stuff. I know that I have 2 minutes, right, Melissa? I have a lot of slides, but unfortunately, if you guys want to any question, I will be available after here. This is the system that we create. SIGAF is Asset Management Integrated System, where we have all the information, operation, procedures, forum to discuss problems around the plants. Technician can go inside and share problems and share information. This is skill matrix. I'm talking about, you can see the minimal skills plus the equipment, the asset criticality. Documentation, everything is inside. It was one of the perfect instrument during the ISO 55000 audit. Just to go, this is one of the critical point. I have talked with somebody yesterday about the codification. One of the biggest problems to integrate all these systems was the codification, the code. The code that specify each asset. We use KKS, is a Germany code, international Germany code. Just in the day of the Brazil and Germany match, I didn't use SAP. I asked for my Siemens plant to stop, and I scare about KKS, you know, after the 7-1. That's okay, I'm recovering. So the criticality analysis, everyone have the criticality analysis, the risk matrix. The lawyer know the criticality analysis and the prioritization. If I'm start the process from the field with a priority 1, it will go to the lawyers to analyze the contract as a priority 1. And they know that. But even with the priority, it's difficult to handle the lawyers. That's okay. Maintenance plan, using Streamline Reliability Center, where we classify the criticality analysis. Reliability engineer, we use reliability systems from Reliasoft to do all the calculation. Risk control, this is one of the amazing system that we develop in Brazil, and that's what I want to show you guys. We measure the risk based on economic side, technical side, and environmental to decide if it's time to dismantle that equipment or not. And we map the risk across the assets and use that system to follow if we have one number to define the AES Tiete risk overhaul, and we follow this number to see if we can mitigate the risk in the good level, not eliminate the risks, but manage the risk in a good level. Portfolio, based on that, we do the portfolio analysis to see which plant and which asset we need to put the money, you know. And they asked me to wrap up right here. That's the risk. Yeah, please wrap up. Minutes of change. Performance evaluation, using all this IoT, that's coming. We use Emerson Ovation in all plants. We did a big project to modernize all plants using Emerson. This is the support and diagnose center. I think the Mark showed the guy with the camera. We use that. We have, for all these plants, we have only 12 engineers. 12 engineers. And the engineers use that room with the radio in the middle, and the guy with the camera in the field communicate with the engineer. We avoid a lot of money with the transportation from this operation center to the plants. Sometimes it's 700 kilometers, 800 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers. So we avoid that. We have the guy in the field, the camera and the radio, and the engineer in this room, open manual, open the systems, open everything to help them. Now I'm going back. Just to finalize, the dashboard with asset management dashboard with all the KPIs that we have in meetings. And continuous improvement that we use APEX. APEX is a AES Performance Excellence program. Is a worldwide program that we put a lot of tools to understand and like a Six Sigma and others, PDCA, to improve to continuously improve all the program that we have inside AES worldwide. Well, to finalize the benefit availability, like I said, we get from 89 to 96. This is the top 14 companies in Brazil in the electricity sector. So 2009, we 94, and then decreased to 89, and then back to 96, go up. Today we are 97, last year, 97.8 exactly. And the fourth, like I told you, 2013 is 2.26, and 2014, 0.15. It's nothing. We got the second place, but if you compare with the first place is only one plant. We are 12 plants. So that's it. Questions is after, right, Ms. Lisa? Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry for my English, but I've tried the best.